Tax season is upon us, and who better to lean in on this conversation than Darren Root, co founder of Better Every Day? Welcome, Darren.
Thanks, Heather. Happy to be here.
Darren, as a CPA and also what I would consider a coach, a consultant to thousands of accountants, is tax season really a season?
Well, it's a season. It just happens to last most of the year. So maybe not really a season anymore. I mean, April's still a thing, but so's September and October and the periods in between. So yeah, I think it's still a thing for sure.
You know, I've admired the way that you have offered guidance and insight about how it is that you take that season and really pull it up and back and optimize the workflow so that maybe that pressure of the season doesn't necessarily hit all at once.
You know, I think there's things that a firm can do to alleviate. I mean, some of this is it feels a bit out of the firm's control because there's so much demand right now. Supply seems to be a bit low. There's a lot of demand for getting tax returns done. We can debate why that is. Maybe there are people retiring and all this stuff. So to some degree, the volume is there, and a lot of people like to file their returns, I'll say on time or by April 15th. So then the question is, what does a firm do about that? You know, most firms don't like turning a lot of people away. So my advice to firms is figure out how to standardize. I mean, it starts by, I like to think of it as the first mile and the last mile. So I think of everything that we do to collect information, get information to clients, and make that less friction filled. And then that's the first mile. And then the last mile is the delivery, from getting signatures to getting paid to delivering documents to all that kind of stuff. So I think of that as the first mile and last mile. Those are two things that you can really control pretty well. But you have to standardize those things. How you collect documents, what your expectations are, what technologies you should be doing or using to do those things. Those are all really important. They will make, if you standardize all of this, it will make tax season easier. I'm not saying easier than it has been. I think what's going to happen, Heather, is technologies like artificial intelligence and some preparation tools that integrate with our tax software are actually going to, I say this, I think imminently these sort of tools are coming out to help a firm with the capacity challenge, which is production. So right now, what you can deal with is first mile and last mile. As we get new technologies, I think those technologies are going to be focused on helping you with capacity.
So it sounds like the standardization, the automation,
Yeah.
the lining up of that tech stacks are all keys to making sure that we're well poised for a successful tax season.
I totally agree with that. The other thing I would add to that for tax season is pricing. Get your pricing right. I mean, so many firms just look at what they did last year, and that's their bellwether. As we move into more and more technologies, whether it's AI technologies or things that increase our capacity, no longer are we even remotely close to billing by the hour, right? Because it may take minutes. It may take way less time than in the past. So start thinking about how you're going to formulate a billing strategy.
So it's pretty impressive to look at the recommendations that you all always offer the accountant community. And thank you for helping all of us to be better every day.
My pleasure. Thanks, Heather.